One side is Hebrew, one side is English. Something that we've been saying for wow. David Hashem always.
Yeah.
It's a goofy thing. Aryeh.
I was asked to talk about the many communities are some communities are ready. And it is a very surprising. Oh? So what I will ask you, because I didn't read that tonight, just to read it, and after that I will ask you what is your impression about what you see is more. So of course it concerns the month of Elul, but it's trying to concern every challenge we have to face in life. So if you can read it, then I will ask you before I will give you my interpretation. What do you feel when you read this? What is the emotion that comes to you? Or what do you think that David HaMelech was challenged at this time when he wrote it?
Sorry, he was bad. We don't know it, but her.
Yeah. And it's not globally what you feel, not
There's a lot of conflict. I could see the conflict before it goes into bed. God was light where you can going. So since we have the light, what's the problem? Who's not here? Lord is my strong. But thank God, what else is there? Ain't no.
so for you it's before facing the vessel, it's true, and to have confidence about that.
The question is it braggadocio or is it opposite?
Someone else?
So, nothing is giving hope. This item. Starting out wrong. Next year. This is saying, keep that I fear my keep me seeing.
So for you, it's like there feels about to lose his clarity. Okay. Darkness. For you, David HaMelech, it's darkness.
Also stands out for me. Also like this is what someone should be doing during this whole period of time, trying to
draw closer, trying to be in his house, trying to be, to have the same ruts on as Hashem.
Anyone else? Yep.
So what I get from this is that there's nobody else that I can count on but Hashem, not my parents, and not and I shouldn't be afraid because there's nobody else but Hashem. He's just constantly just making it more clear that wow, I'm so lucky. I don't have anything to really fear because I have Hashem in my life.
We have a lot of Hashem who doesn't have any fear of the religion. He's asking Hashem to show way, to help him, to walk in the Hashem, and also basically that's what we have false confidence in Hashem, and at the same time asking for to help me to find Hashem way.
So,
There is something missing to me.
yeah.
And the thing is that everybody that talked about as if Hashem is outside us, each one individual. So we can trust him, we wish for him. Hashem is within us, within everybody. Every Hashem, in David it does. Shekti bevet Hashem, kol yemei chayai. I want to be in the house of Hashem. Not that Hashem is outside of me. I want to be there, to be me, not outside.
Yes.
Light. Hashem is light. And the light there are
This
it
is
seems
it.
like David doesn't see that much difference between living now and living in the home of our. Battle comes up. I'm just asking Hashem, I just want to bask in your beauty and in your glory. Either here or there. If there's a battle that'll make it, I'll still be with you. I can be this all up there. He really did love Hashem thoroughly.
I will, yes.
A little bit sarcastic. So much of it. Hashem, you're terrorizing by sending the road out to me. Personally, again, anyone that's this is very deep for us.
So for you, it's emotional about it.
Like, really go to the heart, then you get, that's not another long. But, in my opinion, Hashem is kind of horrible. We brought that history of this time. Hashem wearing on the hat, Hashem is sending you horrible things. That's Hashem is. And that doesn't mean he's not going to do it. Right? It doesn't mean that terrible things are not in history of life. So the trauma, I mean, I don't have an answer. But what is I don't like? I have some.
Very good.
It means, well, I mean, I know it's good because it's true. It just means that, okay, I have to like you, Hashem. Right? To terrify him. But that's what I'm not to discuss. Is bigger than this is stuff. Actually, funny. He understands all the perspectives. He also has to try to believe that I'm not saying Hashem walk on the answer to the heart. And Hashem hopefully will open the door, save him or protect him or give him the rest. Right? Yeah, it goes on and on. I think like there's no answer to that. Don't close your mind. Right? It's very complicated. very peaceful. When, this idea.
Yes.
There's a place of like and we go through this is the concept, but it's like you like look at my picture, the way you know, like how is this gonna get? And that's where like the light comes. Is that no matter how dark we're at, once we come back to that like first center of knowing, not hoping, not having a muna, not maybe, but knowing that everything is just when it's dark or it doesn't go so well. Like it really is no matter what that's the knowing. Whatever I hear, no matter what's going on around him, he knows. He knows who Hashem is, he knows who he is. And that I think that's what brings us that light.
Yes.
And then look at this and see it. And I also know that he wasn't in the middle. The hell we find that where I'm more sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it does definitely represent the two-way relationship.
Two-way.
We need Hashem. Because I know that with you, with Hashem,
Yes. From who to Hashem to the Melech, both ways.
Both ways. And you read the seminars that in earlier, we talked and I'm absorbing that day right now that to be loved, you have to think about be loved. What you want to be loved, what they want, you have to be what they want to be loved, and you have to be what they would love, and they have to be what you would love, and just be like that. But it's all underneath. Then he ends with the lifeline. Is a lifeline, and to Bay, I don't know. I just have to hope, and I don't know. That's it. That's the lifeline. He leaves us with the lifeline at the end. It's like if we're swimming in the water and he's on the ship, he gives us that line. Just hope in God. Just hope in God. You'll make it through. You'll do it. But that's his punchline from all of this.
Thank you for your beautiful vision of what it is. Because I am an artist, I have to give some reality about your vision. And the reality about that is mostly of the people, they have a reading word by word, phrase by phrase, sentence by sentence, and everyone identifies his emotion, his fears, his battle about the message. This is the common way. But David Amela first is an artist, biggest artist for the poetry. He succeeded to take the 5 books of the Torah and to wrote 5 books of the Tehillim. It's the complete creativity for the prayer and the emotion. What normally the book in the Torah are very regular teaching and Tzfat, Aryeh Leib Smilchensky, what to do and what to do and story. And his life from the first moment, he had no moment to life. He gave 70 years from Adam Arishon. So he had to be creative every moment. And he's facing all the challenge that everyone in life challenge one time or more. Because he get everything against him. And he stayed all the time fantastic artist writing songs and poetry to Hashem. And it's pure Ruach HaKodesh. It's like the 5 books of the Tehillim has exactly the balance to the 5 books of the Chumash. So we are talking about Moshe Rabbeinu on one side, with the Har Sinai, with the old important, and David HaMelech, like guys that is fighting and going and feels and writing Tehillim. In fact, without the Tehillim, we have no access. Because it's just an intellect access. It's nice for studying, but it's not taking us anywhere. So normally when you have a Tehillim, it's a secret path. In fact, every chapter of the Tehillim is some secret path that we have to be little creative to do. The way to do it is to read the first pasuk and the text. Because then what is between, not just become difficult, but that become a part of what David HaMelech had to say now. Starting and the end, he finished, and the end pasuk, if you read it, you will see that even in Hebrew is not standing right. So pasuk that don't give an answer. It's like Kavel Hashem Chazak Yamet Sibecha Kavel Hashem. Everyone knows that. But we don't give the answer. It's like you have to give your weight for Hashem and your hope to Hashem. Okay, be strong. And the pasuk finish and wait and hope to Hashem. Thank you. It's like I hope from you something, and you answer me, hope for me. Thank you. It's like, where is the, but it's the end. If it was at the beginning and it explained, okay, hope to have success, have to win the battles, we understand, but you can't finish and asking a question by saying, okay, what you ask. So, and the way of, it's different, it's 10 type of feeling inside the hotel of feeling, like the 10 type of music, but 10 type of David HaMelech having this fantastic conversation. This is a sort of one like the David Hashem. Other is more like David. So we have to focus on the first words and the last. The last one, the answer is very simple. You are hoping, and with the strength of your hope, you are going to get the answer. So David HaMelech gave a key for the entire life. It's really an artistic key of life. Everything you can try, and if you look during the all other 13 psukim, is describe everything you are going to challenge in life. Everyone in a way, in another way. Yes? Yeah, if you don't have an enemy to fight, like David HaMelech, we have all type of enemies. We have type of people that make Lashon Hara or David HaMelech, and everyone knows the situation. So in fact, is David HaMelech tell you something very, it's an amazing way to change life. And it's a book that explains what are the letters. David HaMelech is using letters to open your imagination. And everyone, the same word, opens something different in mind. If you say field, for you it will be something like that, and for each one will be feel about something else. If you say joy, everyone will have with those letters and also the image that comes to mind. So even if it is the same word, the same letter, everyone will feel it in a different. So the answer of the last pasuk I will give you now, and we are going to explain. In fact, David HaMelech says something like, if you trust Hashem, because hope is not the right translation, more close to trust. Kavel Hashem is more to trust. What is the difference between emunah and trust? It's very simple. Emunah, you believe, sometimes not, more or less. Like you fix an appointment with someone and you believe you are coming tomorrow at 4, I believe. And if you say to someone, I trust you, we'll be there at 4 o'clock, this is completely different. It's another level. When you say to someone, I believe I will come, or I trust you, this is something. Trust means somewhere that, of course, you are not going to be disappointed. Believe, sometimes yes, not. So the answer is, When you trust really Hashem, this is what David HaMelech said. Hashem will give you another gift, not just what you are expecting, will give you more trust. Why? Because what you get is because you trust. And if you was expecting something and you get it, it's because Hashem saw that you trust him. If you trust someone, no problem. So what can be the gift that will be better from what you are asking? That your trust will expand. More trusting Hashem, you will get more. Yes.
I don't see no contradiction between the first sentence and the last one.
Nice, you start to understand.
Because the Hebrew letters, they create reality. We know, I'm not going now into or account how the word was created. When you take the keva, cafe, and carve, hold on to a carve. So Hashem ship his life inside you, a carve. So all the time, hold on.
So I take the first part and I will expand the second part of it.
I think it's
Kavel Hashem, that more you will trust Hashem, more you are going to be confident in the way you trust Hashem. And then this is the answer of the last passage, like you said. When you trust Hashem, He gives you more trust, so you get more. It's not just to give you what you was expecting. Yes, you trust Him to have something, you are waiting for an answer or something very important in your life. You trust Hashem, you get the answer. You say, normally we don't have to add the last Kavel Hashem another time, twice. You trust Him, you get the answer, finish, end of the period. No, Hashem, because you trust me, I will give you another level to trust me, then you get more. How we connect with the first person? When we are learning a Kelim or any sentence, we have to search more than what we understand at the first lecture or the first video. We have to look deeper. Because when we understand quick something, it means that we already know. And when we are learning something and when you are connecting with Hashem, we have to discover something that we don't know at this moment. It's not, we are not moving from the place we are. We are looking for what we know. So it's a Google search. The Torah is not Google. So we have to look something else. What David HaMelech said. Do you think that David HaMelech, with 13 psukim, explained what he is facing, hesitation, fears, enemies, Lashon Hara? It's not there. It's not there at all. Just describe you what can be. I think that everyone here knows the famous boxer, the history on the boxing, Muhammad Ali. Yes. Is I think in the history what I know for that is the most winner 35 40 time winner knockout. It's nothing happened in the history of the sport. Like, and we can't say that he has specialness. He was training like the best that had to be, but it's many like him that do exactly the same thing. And no one can explain why guy can win 35 or 40 times, and other have 5 times yes, 2 times no, 1 time half, 1 time stopping. That's the regular pass of everyone. And the Baal Shem Tov said that everything we hear, even from the going, we have to know that it's a message. It is a message, very simple message. He gets one time and then interview a journalist. And the journalist asks him, how do you prepare to the next round you have, what do you do, how you are going to, and you look at him, I don't understand your question. So the journalist maybe will rephrase how you're going to prepare yourself for the next step that you have. I don't understand your question. So now let's get a little upset. Okay, third time. How do you do it the next time you go on the ring? You say, I don't understand your question. I go to win. Few years ago, when I was told this story, I said, this is exactly what we have to learn. And before coming that, it's come to my mind that is exactly the purpose of this telling. David HaMelech had no fears. He had no question. And how we do that? How a human being can be facing so many situations, challenging so many very hard situations, and just trust Hashem. It's not a button that you can push and say, okay, I trust you. You have to do something. You can say, I pray more, I learning more, I talk to Hashem more, but the process itself needs something very important. And this is a very nice commentary about the letters. What is the primary colors of the letters? Black. Yes. Primary color of letters, black. What can we find also that is black, but can change colors? Coal, amber. And amber, when it's dark, black, inside it's a little, not a flame, it's a little orange tint. Yes, when you finish the barbecue. This is really the color of the letter. So you have inside something, because when you read letters, when you read the passage, everyone has emotion about this telling. It is some little fire inside. It's not burning, it's not cooking, it's not firing, it's not exploding, but it's black. This is the color. And inside is a little flame. So, what you do at this moment, there is ready make the naf, yes, put air, and then the light comes and many colors comes out. Yellow, orange, blue. Where was those colors? Inside the black. Exactly the same about the telling. The letters are black and white. But because it telling, everyone has some little flame when I read telling, because I can be identified to the situation of what I am reading now, or because I am concerned, or because I need something from Hashem, because I want to thank Hashem for something. So it is, the flame is the emotion part, and the dark color is just the letter, the shape of the letter, the design of the letter to identify what is the word. This is how you have a book of Tehillim in front of you. At the beginning, they are just black letters with a little flame inside. And we have to put air, breeze inside to make the colors coming out. And this telling, how surprising it can be, it's just the way that David HaMelech is going not to face, or not to challenge, but to win the certain situation that he's describing. How we do that? He just said, the Metzudat David said, David Hashem Ori Veishi. This is the way of David HaMelech by saying, it's a declaration. He said, first, I say it. It's like I use the air, yes, the breeze that come and to create a world need air. So between the letter that is on the book and when you say words, the difference is very simple. You put air inside. The word that is in the book, black on white. You have inside a flame because it's a Tehillim or it's a Kodesh. But when you say it, how you make the light? How do you make this black word that is on the book a light? Because you say it. And how do you say it? If you put your hand, you will say that it's a lot of air coming out of your mouth. This is how you can make a word. And when you make it, then the colors comes out. Yes, we are alive because we can breathe and we have air. Nefesh chaya me'onalel, because we can speak. What is the difference between human and other any creature? That we make alive with words. Words become alive. So in fact, this telling has to be read completely differently. That to be read for the first thing David HaMelech said to Hashem, Hashem, you are my light. You just say it. When people face situations, they face the situation, they challenge the situation, they feel good or bad or sad or feels. And then, Hashem, can you help me? This is not what David HaMelech do. He starts, Hashem, you are my light. But it's clear. Now I want you to confirm in the certain situations that I am facing, I will face, and people are talking about me, my enemies, I mean, everything. I just confirm and say it again and again. In this situation, you serve me in this situation, you help me in this situation, you are my light. So it's not what we do normally. Normally, we are asking friends, we do something, we are facing, we just try to be strong, and then Hashem help me. When it's hard, we say, Hashem help me. Or Hashem, thank you, after something happened. David HaMelech shows a completely different path. He starts by saying, first, I tell you, you are my light. How you can say it's challenging because sometimes in your mind it's not working exactly, but when you start by saying what I start in the beginning of the speech here, the reality, how do you change the reality? How you create a new reality when you say before anything happens, during anything happened, after anything happened, everyone say it was good, it was bad, thank you, Hashem said me. Before, when you start everything in your life, then you start the creality process of David HaMelech, because you take the amber and you put air inside, and this black charcoal starts to become a fire with many colors. What is the color you connect at this moment? You will depend on your emotion. Like the rainbows, the connection between Hashem and this world, they are just colors. The Zohar says when the Mashiach will come, the colors of the rainbow, with each color will shine like the sun. The yellow one, the green one, the blue one will shine like the sun. Today, the only light we have intense light in the sun, we cannot express it. The rainbow is transparent, yes, when you can see through. So the Zohar says when the Mashiach will come, the colors of the rainbow will shine, each color will shine like the sun. So when you say, and this is what David HaMelech said, and then this is a perfect connection between the first and the last pasuk. Because this start, you say, Hashem, I tell you, you are my light. First, before everything begins.
And light is all the colors.
Because you need different colors to have light in different situations of your life. Yes? Every element of life have a different color, because colors are about emotion. And because Hashem decided to create the rainbow, he did not make one color. And what is connecting is with the blue of the sky with the black of the ground. Yes? So in fact, we see that the colors are the connection between everything we have to expand. So David HaMelech said, first, I make a big, it's not a declaration, it's like when a state makes a declaration of independence, it's becoming an entity. So when you declare time after time to Hashem, Hashem, you are my light, it's not because you are in trouble and you ask Hashem to give you light. It's a completely different situation. Because when you are in trouble, normally you are sad. And when you are sad, you are expecting light just to take you out from the darkness. You don't see colors at all, you are completely in the dark. But when you start the process of reality, like David HaMelech said, he starts to say, Hashem Ori Veishi. Then he describes what is the situation. And if you look inside the skin, you will say that it's not, you don't have hesitation, question. It's just confirming one time after time in any situation that anyway, this is where I am connecting. From the light, I am connecting Achat Shalti Met Hashem, Ota Vakesh, Shifti Bevet Hashem. I just want to sit at your home. It's not a guy that is sad and people are pushing him and say, okay, I want to go home and be back. No, no. This is the right place that I want to sit, where I sit. Say that David HaMelech one time wanted to walk out of his house and want to walk somewhere, and he found himself back to the Bet HaKnesset. Even the muscle, even the body was so connecting to the lights that what happened in his mind didn't disturb. He go to the right place. So the light, the sun, we can't face the sun directly, but Hashem gives us a beautiful gift, rainbow color. And the colors are the intensity of the light that we want to bring in our life. How much I want colors, because we all the time say, I want light in my life. This is a nice sentence. But it will resume the world between black and white. And Hashem didn't create the world of black and white. The Ramak explained in his book Pardes Emonim, the Sharakanim, 400 different things. Each one is connected to a spira, to a source of your soul. So Hashem didn't decide that the carrots are orange by accident. He had nothing to do, so he put the orange. No. When the Chazon Ish was looking at the tree, he can explore with the different tint of the green the entire creation of the Bereshit. Can you imagine that? You look at the tree and you can see, I am a painter, so I can make 50 different green. At least. What are those? They are intensity of light of Hashem, what I want to see. So it depends what you want to see. You want to be focused on what disturbs you when you go in the street, or you want to open your eyes, looking at the sky, stopping at the nice flower that is in corner of the Macabbi, and it's sad because you have the 2 bags of the Macabbi, but at this moment you can decide to stop and to explore the color. And yes, then that moment you say, Hashem, Ori, Veji, for that you are connected. So when you open a telling like that one that we do during this entire month, why do we read this one? Because in fact the world will be created at Rosh Hashanah. So it's a completely new creation. And Hashem asks us, and David HaMelech gives us a fantastic gift. Be creative in the way you look at your life. Start to say for everything, who is my light, Hashem? No, we give you a list of all the situations. And in each situation, use the only power you have to be connected to Hashem is your words. It's like the strength of the worker to Hashem is when Hashem make his words, the book. It's the 10 Commandments and the 10 Ma'amarot of the creation of the world. We're all talking about words. What makes your life is the words you use. They are words that look dark when you see it black and white on the paper. When you take out with your breath, they start to have color. And like anyone starts an art class, you have to start how to use colors. It's exactly the way. When you understand that everything you are speaking, everything you say, you are painting the colors about what happened in your life. It changes completely. You make everyone become an artist. You don't need the brush, you don't need the acrylic or the oil, because you have it inside your mouth. So you have people that all the time complain, and you can meet them a few years later. They are in the same situation, even worse situation, and they continue to complain. Yes? And you have people that are too much optimistic of everything, that are out of reality. We are talking here about David HaMelech. It's a perfect artist. It's reality. How I can see colors in the situations that I am facing. And if you take the list of the 13 verses that are able to give, you will see that you will find yourself somewhere in any of the situations, more or less. You don't have a troop with an army that's against you, but this is an image, yes? David HaMelech says that every Jew It includes all neshamot that are inside the Tehillim. So everyone that will really look to discover something that he don't know in the Tehillim, and the Tehillim, he knows that he will give access to the knowledge of the Torah, and this will access to the colors. So when you are, the next time you open a Tehillim, you say, I'm going to paint for Hashem with my mouth.
No, I'm going to create reality for myself.
Yes?
To plant it within myself, which unites with Hashem.
I agree too. This is for today.
The whole idea of a rainbow is completely like a sign that's like not a good thing. You're not even supposed to stare at it.
I was waiting for this question. Normally when I speak rainbow, automatically this question. Yes?
So you're saying that if I'm a Mashiach, then the rainbow will be
So
able to look at
what is the rainbow sign? Everyone from the Talmud Torah knows that when Hashem decided after Noah to make the promise, I will not destroy the world another time. And every time I want to make it, I will stop myself and I will show you the rainbow. We all learned that. I learned that when I was 6 years old. So it's fine. This is nice. At some stage in life, we have to upgrade what we learned when we were 6.
But
So what is the sign?
I always had a question.
Yeah.
Like for my teachers, well, if it was a bad sign that like Hashem wanted to destroy the world, then why is it so beautiful?
Oh,
Why didn't he make it just?
this is a good question.
Why this? I had this
Yeah,
question.
if you want to destroy you, not to follow. I will going to destroy you. No.
I was 10 years old when I had this question. They never answered it properly.
Okay,
No, like,
so the answer is like that.
just
In
have it
fact,
read.
yeah, in fact, if the world was working, and this is what we do during this time of Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, we are judging ourselves and the other, and we are not judged, we are just accusation all the time. When Hashem showed the rainbow, he said, okay, if the world was working only al pidim, only following the rules that have to work one by one, the way we do, if Hashem was following the way we are judging ourselves and the other, believe me, it was the most disaster that the world was destroying every 30 seconds. So Baruch Hashem don't follow us in that path. So you want to show us what is the opposite. So he said, I just want to remind you, stop to be, how it said, the American justice, to be the judge of the entire world. And stop to be the judge of yourself, because you awake so much dinim, so much judgment. Like today in Israel or in America, it's more lawyers that sit. Everything you want, I will bring you to the court. It's like you just start to speak. Can you give me a milk? Oh no, the milk will fall away. I will bring you to the court. It's like we want to judge everything, and this is what we. When you look at the mirror, what you do to yourself. And if it was the case, you can stand 1 minute in the world with it. Hashem wants you to explain you how the world is working. This is the matter of the Tzfat. Go back to the source. And the source is no dinim, no judgment. Everything is perfect. So you want to show you exactly this is the sign of the rainbow. Even if you are awaking all the reason to make a judgment, and a bad one, a strong one, about anything, I want to show you that this is not the way that the world is existing. Because I want to show you how I am acting by myself. I'll show you colors. Because life is beautiful, the world that I create is beautiful, you are beautiful. Because this is my world, this is Hashem say. This is my creation, you are my creation, the world is my creation, the heaven is my creation, the plants, the sea, the mountains, everything are my creation. And you are not a critic of art to say to Hashem that his creation is not at your best. And it's what we do all the time. All the time it's what we do. We become expert critics of art.
How many colors of rainbow?
Inside the rainbows are all the 400 different tints of the colors because they are transparent. And like my painting, if one time you come to say it, it's 150 layers of transparent color.
So does it have any connection to the 7 meters? Each meter, and then there is a.
Of course, because when you take a little orange with a little blue and you mix a little by one of transparency, you have all the connection. And David Amela connect the 600,000 souls to Hashem in this stadium. So you are connected, I am connected, everyone has his own connection to the colors of what David Amela did.
But it's not
7
there.
meters.
Are rainbows of that sign?
No,
Is there?
definitely not. It's a sign that at this moment we are so in the chair of the judge and we awake so much judgment for the world that Hashem wants to stop us and to say, you bring me to the extreme position to judge. So I want to now bring it back and I will connect my light. And if you see the quarter of circle, the colors. I will connect the even to the ground to remind you to see the colors that it is in my world. Because if you continue the way you continue, you are going to destroy the world. You want to destroy the world and you ask me to destroy the world because you ask me to judge everyone. You do every bad thing that concern the other about yourself. So you bring me to the situation that I have to destroy the world according to what you do and what you ask. So please go back, take your colors, go back to class.
It's beautiful.
It's not, you see, the same way that the colors are between, all the colors are between black and white. I don't like the good and bad notion like they are two entities, bad and the good. This is good for, maybe, I don't know, movies, but everything have inside. You see, electricity has 2 poles, negative and positive. The heartbeat is up, on, off, on, off. Nothing in this world have one side. Nothing can existing in this world with one side. So when the rainbow comes, it's because we are acting, we are judging, and we are awakening the judgment of Hashem who said the world is so bad, we have to destroy. Hashem have you back. Be back to be an artist, because the Zohar says what Hashem do when he's creating the world, he's making an artwork, umanut, taking one sphere to another until it's come to this world, and each sphere has each color. But we are so hard with ourselves and with the other. So we bring the world to a position, you have to be destroyed. So come the rainbow. So from this side is a bad sign to say we are acting in the ways that we bring the world to the destruction. So it's a sign that shows that we are acting bad. But the sign itself includes the colors to show Hashem have more love that we have judgment. And this is what we are looking.
So we can say that the rainbow and Tiferes correlates.
The rainbow includes all the spheres, the 7 spheres, and it comes in the black, in the blue background that is the sky, it is the Malchut. So it's connecting all the spheres from the things that we don't understand, but a high level of spirituality and colors, and come until the ground. So when you look at the rainbow, you will see it starts from the sky, you don't know where exactly, and it's come until the ground. This is the only connection we have in this world, because heaven is heaven, ground is ground, sea is the sea, mountain is the mountain, everything is separate. The rainbow is the perfect connection between all the elements of the creation. It's come from nowhere and stopping in this earth. So it's connected the colors that Hashem created, because the sun is too much for us. The moon look for us disappearing and coming every month. And when comes the rainbow, Hashem said, look at the colors of your life. You cannot all the time judging, complaining, and looking, facing challenging situations. This is not a life.
So you're saying that the colors is like the Shekhinah, there's someone that wrote
Yes.
That's what Janice wrote.
Which was?
Someone on Zoom wrote the colors is the reverse and antidote of the Shekhinah.
Huh? So what I wish to everyone is to become an artist.
Amazing.
To make your life and the life of the people around you beautiful, like David Ameller said, bring them to the reality of life, to bring the wind, the colors and everything, to be prepared for Yom Kippur, like the Ramchal said, the most important day is the day after Yom Kippur, you have plenty the day after, and the Hasidic and the Mukbalim are celebrating this day even more than Yom Kippur itself, because at this moment we finish with the cleaning, with the guilty, with the mistakes. We are completely new. We can start a new canvas with all the colors of life.